Hello, and welcome to Wyverns and Weirdos, The Journey Home. I'm your Dungeon Master, Darby, and joining me as usual are Zoe, playing Sevia, Emily, playing Beatrice, Laura, playing Conrad, Mitch, playing Designation 42, and Johanna, playing Fall. Let's jump into it. So, where we last left off, the party arrived in Sharn, got their bearings, and went to dinosaur races in which most of them competed. Great time was had. Sevia rode Fall under the guise of Parrywimple Slayer into first place, while Conrad rode 𝗖𝗔𝗦𝗧 under the guise of Fredwood into a tied second place with the aging Dimitrodon Mountain Thunder, who Beatrice bet on. So there are various winnings all round. So, what would you like to do post-races?
Beatrice, who has been in the stands babysitting Prime, will probably wander down and wander through to the entrance to... Well, first she'll go and collect her winnings, and then she'll wait for everybody in a fairly obvious spot.
Okay.
So I guess we would have to go back to a certain sort of area. All the riders would.
Yeah.
I
That's
presume
kind of a...
Mitch can confirm that we would probably just walk the most cursed spider climbing way possible.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah.
We're upside down.
Yeah. Crawl up the ceiling, then stand upside down. Yeah.
We'll probably spend some time running around in circles after the victory.
Sevia was like, "Oh my goodness, we won! We won! How on earth did we win? Oh goodness! Oh goodness! Oh goodness! We're going round and around and around," and just clinging on for dear life as Fall goes in smaller and smaller circles. And just as she's going around, periodically it's like, "Conrad, you came second! That's so very exciting! Did you win anything too? Why are you upside down?" Or am I just that dizzy?
Oh. Well, yes. Excellent. Good. Well, this was... I suppose Conrad just pattering on to 𝗖𝗔𝗦𝗧. Well, this was very well done. Good. Good first race, I suppose. Second place isn't bad. Kind of frustrating that Sevia and Fall came first, but I suppose it's fine. Good thinking on squishing the favourite, though. I did quite enjoy that.
There are
Conrad
definitely
is still
improvements that can be
growling.
made, but I feel this was an adequate first showing.
I agree, yes. Good for starters. Very good job. I do hope there'll be no repercussions, but they did say that some bloodshed was fine, so I'm sure it will be okay.
Accidents happen.
Accidents happen, precisely. And I imagine some of the spiders that were sitting on his shoulder will skitter back into the little bag he has. And yes, Conrad's doing both a valiant job at staying upright because he has quite a high athletics check.
Yeah.
And also focusing quite hard on maintaining spider climb.
Yeah.
While we're dicking around, basically.
Okay.
Yeah, actually, does Sevia have to make some kind of check to see if she stays on Fall whilst they are running in circles?
I'll say yeah. Roll me an athletics or acrobatics check, your choice.
Phew. That's a 19 on the dice. My acrobatics is higher, so that is a 21.
Okay, yeah. So you're able to
I'm not
stay
strong.
steady. Yeah.
Okay, cool. Then, yeah, same as. I'm assuming we are now doing all of this like in the little area where they take all the racers, and Sevia is like just looking around, waiting to see if anyone's going to come talk to them about what we do next, and if we are allowed to leave, and if so, what exit we should take.
Full is not going to cooperate if Sevia wants to get off of. Full probably will not realize this, and he's just going to continue like leaping about and running in circles.
That's incredibly blessed content. But so Sevia is just kind of yelling down at people. She probably is like clinging on to like Fall's neck and is like, hello, I believe my dinosaur is quite excited about today. As you can see, some of the other contestants are raising the ceiling practically with excitement. Is there anywhere we can go once we collect our winnings? Like, do we...
I'll say, yeah, you're led fairly, or given directions fairly easily to a place that you can kind of hide out and allow Fall to change back.
Okay, is it like some kind of stables, or is it just like a big empty paddock out the back?
It's probably closer to stables.
Okay. So Sevia would attempt to guide Fall into one of the stables, just being like, Fall, that way, please.
Are the stables very spacious? I'm going to imagine they're just like a little bit cramped for a T-Rex, and Fall is just going to keep shying away, like, no. They're a bit afraid of the enclosed space.
Fall. And she's like patting Fall's big dinosaur cheek, like trying to be gentle, like with the feathers. And she's like, Fall, we need to, make you fall again. So it would be very nice and cooperative if you could just go into the little space. It will seem much bigger once you're little. It'll be fine. Pet.
Fall makes to like kind of punch themselves in, and then they shy away.
Yeah, bearing in mind, I don't actually think Fall can understand anything Sevia's saying
Nope.
right now. So, because she can't communicate with animals.
Yeah, so roll me an animal handling check to communicate your intent.
Please. 17.
Okay, 17. So you do get the gist of what Sevia is saying, that they want you to go into a place.
Okay. After a moment, Fall will like kind of like hang his head down, like looking like a sad little T-Rex, and then slowly trudge into the stables.
Oh, it's okay.
The T-Rex starts shaking a little bit.
Oh, we can do this anytime you want. I'm sorry. It'll be fine. Everything will be fine. You just have to put me down, because otherwise this will be incredibly awkward when I change you back. So I'm going to let go now and hold on to one of your little arms, and if you could just place me down, that would be fantastic. Thank you, Fall. And she's going to attempt to do just that.
Okay.
Whether or not Fall cooperates.
I guess Fall will probably realize that she's trying to get onto the ground and will try to cooperate.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you, Fall. So she gets down on the ground and she's like, thank you very much, Fall. And then she's just going to very gently like pat his big dinosaur foot and then do a couple little hand gestures and drop concentration on Polymorph.
Okay.
Yeah, so Fall will just little tiefling.
Oh, small space. The running up. Fall just kind of like shakes their hair and is like, oh, me again. Excellent. Wow, that was really weird.
Yeah. as I said, I've never even been a little animal before. So thank you for being the pardon guinea pig of this particular spell. Not that I can cast it perfectly well. It's just I've never tried it on a breathing person before. Mostly, well, like synthetic little things. Like you try it on little, like test dummies.
Okay, that was just like the creepiest possible way you could have said it.
Sorry, well, to be fair, where were we just hours ago?
I mean, yeah, that's pretty in keeping for like Barovia.
Yes. So, but you did such a good job. We won.
We won! I know! Oh, that's so exciting. So we got like prize money.
Yes, we got this this bag of money. I believe it's 1,000 gold. And if you give me a minute, I can count out your share.
Oh, wonderful. And we beat 𝗖𝗔𝗦𝗧 and Conrad.
Yes, a little bit of, and she drops her voice and gives Fall like a really playful little punch on the arm, a bit of brotherly competition.
Yes, I guess so.
Good. I hear that's a good thing for siblings to have. Yes. So.
Yeah, I hear that as well. That's supposed to be normal, yeah. Huh.
Yes.
I think, to be honest, I was a little annoyed at him, so it's nice to defeat someone in something.
Why were you annoyed
get
at
rid of
him?
that. The argument before with 𝗖𝗔𝗦𝗧 and everything. He's been rather callous, I guess. Oh, I don't know.
Well, to be fair, as much as I have immense hope in my heart for Conrad, he has never necessarily not been a callous person.
Yes, that's true. Yes, which I think I thought it was like the curse and everything, but I might be more about his upbringing. But upbringing isn't everything, I guess.
I mean, he is quite cursed, but I don't believe that, from what I remember, the curses mostly just made him crave arcane knowledge, and believe himself to be, well, it made him more resistant to accepting the word no in the context of planning. So there certainly might be factors. However, considering that argument did contain no, it seemed actually like things quite went to the plan Conrad had in mind.
Yes.
So that was potentially something he has had in his little head for a while.
Yes, which doesn't exactly, I don't know, it's not exactly something I like in a friend or a sibling. But, well, I guess just about everyone accepted the plan in some way, so maybe I just have too high standards.
Sevia's shoulders kind of slump a little bit. She goes, well, certainly I feel if it had been a plan we had discussed as a group, it wouldn't have happened. Or if it had, it certainly would have been more definitively wrong. But, well, anyway, morality is tricky, especially in a place such as Barovia.
Yes, absolutely. Hopefully, we won't be running into those kinds of problems again.
Yes, although, to be fair, if I may express a worry I have had in the wake of that argument. when we met with 𝗖𝗔𝗦𝗧, he certainly had a set of morals. But they seemed rather detached, in a way, from humanity. In the classical sense, not the moralistic sense. You know. But as he has been with us, he has learned, he has grown. I'm sure you have seen him mimicking what we do, physically, vocally. He chooses animals he knows we will like. He makes choices he knows we will like. There was a part of him that knew that telling everyone of his plan, even Conrad, was going to lead to trouble. So I have to wonder, from which of us did he learn to lie like that? And from which of us did he learn that the needs of the many outweigh the needs of the few? Or the sacrifices of others? I'm not pinning blame on any of us. I just feel it is easy to blame what 𝗖𝗧𝗧 did on 𝗖𝗧𝗧. It is easy to blame what 𝗖𝗧𝗧 did on 𝗖𝗧𝗧 and Conrad. I worry about what it means for us as a whole.
Oh, that's a very good point.
Thank you. It's not like I'm taking pride in it, just like, thank you that I don't sound crazy when I say it.
No, I think that's very perceptive.
Thank you. I don't know, maybe I even expressed to Conrad myself, I felt my morality slipping in Barovia. And it was difficult to keep a hold on it.
Yes.
So, you know, it is a question to be brought up whether 𝗖𝗧𝗧 has been like this because of Mordenkainen, because of us, because of one of us, because of all of us, or just because of Barovia as his home. Will he adapt and change to other places, or is he adapting and changing to us? And if so, what does that say about us? Potentially too large a set of questions, considering we should be excited that we just won a dinosaur race, but if we are discussing it, it felt pertinent to say.
Oh, yes, absolutely. I think, I don't think I told you before we tried to teleport away from Barovia, 𝗖𝗧𝗧, he came to me and he wanted to question me.
Oh. Of what?
About things like, what is home to me? And I think he wanted to know if he should come with us or where he should go.
Oh.
Which is, I don't usually think that, like, people care about what I think of them or look to me for what I should say. But you say before that 𝗖𝗧𝗧 might have learnt to lie, and that is something that I often do, or try to portray myself as. So I'm just thinking that maybe I have some responsibility for what he did in his plan.
Well, I'm not just saying there's responsibility. I'm just, I mean, technically I am, but not really. It's, like I said, I wasn't, it's just a theory. It's just a theory.
Yes. No,
At the end of the day,
I think it's a direct, correlation, but
no.
it does make me think.
But as you say, 𝗖𝗧𝗧 still asked if he, from what it sounds like, he asked if he could come with us, if he should, in the wake of his choice. That, for all I have feared, it also belies a sense of caring, a certain level of empathy that maybe his presence would make us uncomfortable. Or that maybe he should feel obligated to stay and fix the mess he made. Maybe the moral of the story is that 𝗖𝗔𝗦 is just as much a person as any of us, or is slowly becoming one. And to blame him alone and not the village that raised him is a mistake, in the same way it is to say, blame Beatrice for the way she is and not the situation she grew up in, or to blame Conrad or me or you. At a certain point, you do have to accept responsibility for your choices, but that does not mean the surroundings that taught you, the surroundings that gave you those choices are not equally at fault for giving you so little to choose from. I don't know. I feel like I'm making this complicated. I'm sorry. You always said you hated philosophy, and here I am bringing it in, so...
It is complicated, I think. I don't think there's, like, one right way of thinking about it or one thing that sparked everything off.
Yes. Well, hopefully we'll get out of here soon, as exciting as all of this was. Hopefully we can get home soon. And then maybe this can be a discussion that is more easily had where we are comfortable and not where we are tossed about and surrounded by so much noise. Do the lanterns here make noise? Can you not hear this faint buzzing? There is a buzzing in the air. It is unlike anything I've ever heard before.
It's so strange, you're right.
Yes, it's setting my teeth on edge. There is nothing like this in Fierlor. Anyway, we should find the others, make sure 𝗖𝗔𝗦 has managed to change back successfully.
Yes, definitely.
Yes.
Speaking of which,
Just
𝗖𝗔𝗦...
one last line.
Yeah.
One last line. In the meantime, can you give me an incredibly detailed rundown of what it was like to be a dinosaur and what the magic felt like for my own research purposes? Thank you. And then she's going to interrogate Fall as we go find the others.
So, yeah, 𝗖𝗔𝗦, where do you find to change back into yourself?
So for the most part, for the first, 5 or 10 minutes, while Conrad is still on 𝗖𝗔𝗦's back, Conrad is in charge of wherever we go, and 𝗖𝗔𝗦 will just be the obedient dinosaur. So I guess it's up to Conrad.
Yeah, Conrad would have just been like showing off the fact we can do spider climb, and then kind of like as the other riders would come in, like kind of like strutting, pacing around, like sort of lording it over the other folks that we placed higher than they did. He looks absolutely insufferable. He's very pleased with himself. He was kind of like sulky when like Fall and Stevie were there, but then as they left off, he's kind of like gotten back into it as well. But yes, he looks a similar disposition to the T-Rex he's on at the moment. But so kind of like pace around for a bit, and then he kind of be like, okay, oh good. Well, we should but again, he wouldn't be conscious of this, but he would be speaking in dinosaur to 𝗖𝗔𝗦, which is very cursed. That's surprised about the other people we had talked to dinosaurs too, but it's just generally cursed. Like, we should go and see where the others have gone and find somewhere to change, unless you wish to stay as this. He will then say like that kind of like the low, the quiet, horrible T-Rex noise. Yeah.
𝗖𝗔𝗦 won't respond. He'll just nod his head.
Excellent. So then we'll step out and pace. I imagine we might possibly see Beatrice and Prime waiting near the entrance, I guess. And stuff like that. Excellent. And so Conrad will like wave at Beatrice from top 𝗖𝗔𝗦 at this point. Like, oh look, there's Beatrice and Prime. Hello, did you enjoy the race? He will say in common.
It was very exciting.
Yes, who did you bet on, if I may ask?
Honker and
Oh, bad luck on that one.
Thunder. What's his name?
Oh, yes, that one. Well,
Came second.
yes, not bad.
Like you.
Yes, pretty good for a first run.
Fallen City did better.
Actually, we kind of like feel like the little reins that come as passion, like just like to pull a lot tighter on him at that point. And in all ways, but literal, like it would be like this little dark cloud kind of like emanating off Conrad's little face. At that point, and they'd be like, "Yes, well, just shows that the riders here are much chop if two untrained people can come first in place, and even myself in second place. So there we go."
We should probably start to try and, find somebody who can get this back home.
Yes, of course. Well, we'll go and find the others then. And Cargo kind of like gestures for Axel to like turn sharply and then just like hurtle off to fire in a direction where he just assumes maybe Sevier and Fall are, but he doesn't really care.
Okay. So yeah.
Exley will try and keep an eye out.
Yeah. It doesn't take long before you all are able to regroup. Exley, you notice out of the corner of your eyes there is a figure watching you as a group. From their stature, they appear to be quite pale elven figure, because you can see bits of their skin, as well as the long pointed ears and the draping black hair. But it is an unnatural paleness.
Is Exley still a dinosaur, or is he changed back?
This would be after he's changed back.
Okay. Interesting. How far away is this figure?
Probably watching from about 100 feet away.
Okay. Exley will turn his back to that figure, sort of, trying to not make it seem like he's actively blocking, but he will, in a low voice, "We are being watched."
How unusual for us.
Where?
Directly behind me. Pale elf. Approximately 100 feet.
I wonder what they want.
Perhaps we should find out.
I think that would be a good idea, actually. Why give them the satisfaction of thinking that they are being sneaky? Let's go and approach them directly.
Prime, would you follow me?
Excellent.
And Exley and Prime are going to lazily start to walk in that general direction.
And Curb will stride after them as well.
Beatrice trots along.
Sevia goes after. Probably holding Fall's hand too.
Yeah, Paul go to.
Alright. So yeah, you approach this elf, and their stature changes almost to welcome you.
What was it previously?
Just kind of trying to blend in, not arouse too much suspicion. They weren't accounting on you having such a high passive perception, though. Greetings, they say as you approach them.
Hello. Might I inquire as to why you are watching?
You are not from here, are you?
You are
Oh.
quite perceptive.
Oh, gee, I wonder how you figured that out. And it just sort of looks at Fall and then back at the elf.
What is your meaning? What intention do you have? Speak plainly.
I am from Arenal. I come on behalf of the Undying Court. I have been sent to Sharn to seek out those who could fix a problem that is beyond the scope of our people and yet affects us deeply.
The Undying Court. What is that?
Yeah. They are exactly as they sound. They are worshippers of ancestors long past. The highest of the court themselves attained a pure form of undeath. One unshackled from the darkness of lichdom.
Curious. An interesting thing to wish for, I suppose.
Right. What kind of help exactly do you need? I can help as an acrobat if that will be useful. I'm afraid I don't really know like the adventurers of this region or anything.
It's a plague against death. Those who should rely upon unlife are being undone. Both those who have achieved undeath, as well as those who have been risen from the grave.
So,
We seek
vampires and such, and people who've been revived.
vampires, yes. People who have been revived, certainly. As well as those of us in Erenal who have our paths hindered with. I have been sent by the Undying Court to seek those who can fix it. If you are from far off lands, you must be accomplished.
We have experiences, but I would not know whether we would be suited for this, whether we would be available. I also have a quick question, Darby. Conrad's an undying warlock. Does he sense anything from this dude? He has a bit of an odd way of how he doesn't. Yeah,
So, is
he's
there?
cursed and possessed. He doesn't.
What
There's no feature. I'm
does-
just curious.
You're not. Yeah. Roll me a religion check, I'd say.
Okay. All right.
I was going to say or Arcana, but they're the same modifier for you.
16.
16. Okay, so there are some traits to them that seem almost undead-like. While they don't have like the fangs of say of Strahd. Their skin, like the unnatural pallidness of their skin and There's a subtle red glow to their eyes that is
Okay.
fairly unnatural for
Interesting.
those who are living.
Yeah, and it kind of like takes it in and like, so I imagine he just gets some kind of sense of something. It looks both unsettled and very curious. Like kind of folds his arms, so he squares his posture more.
Not to the extent that Conrad got, but is Exley able to get some form of idea on?
Roll me an Arcana or Religion.
Both of 0, so 15.
15. Yeah, you get about what Conrad got.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Excellent.
Excuse me, good person. What was your name? Pardon?
I am Seathria.
Right, Seathriel. Well, we are but humble people, as my compatriot said. We have some experience with assisting people in trouble. But for all intents and purposes, we were intending to head home today. We were truly only here for the dinosaur races. And even then, that came as quite a shock. So, I'm what makes you think we, above anyone else here who looks slightly different to normal, would be of any assistance to you?
You have proven your arcane worth and ability. As you said, you were here for the dinosaur races. And they give you, like, a knowing look.
To observe and bet, of course.
Of course. Now, I understand if you wish to return to your home. I simply thought that you were worth asking. The court has many gifts that it can offer, both material and immaterial, if you would desire to reconsider.
Tell us more of the gifts.
They have treasures, but they also have blessings that they can give. There is
Blessings.
Yes, they can provide arcane and divine services.
Interesting.
Is transport one of those services?
Of course. They can move through the plains if they find the need to. Why? Are you stuck here?
Purely want to see more of the world.
Yes. We are
course.
travellers, of course.
Well,
What would your query involve? What do you expect to have people you meet off the street do for you?
we have word of a temple within the Mournlands. This temple is an abomination to life and undeath. We know not what its purpose is, but we know that it is a dark necromancy that fuels it, and the curse that it anchors to this place.
Important question. Is this temple amber? Orange, yellow, that kind of colour?
Like a shadow passes over Conrad's face when you mention a temple
To our
of great evil.
to our awareness, no.
Well, that's a bonus.
It is a temple to our knowledge of stone and glass, resting within the moorlands of Sa.
No, W, Conrad would not comprehend this place.
No.
But would he feel an interest towards it? I'm only saying this because I don't quite know how his patron works and what his patron wants. It's just that Conrad is haunted as hell.
Yeah, you can
Does
roll
he feel
me.
a pull away one way or another?
So you're definitely interested in the arcane potential of this.
Of course,
the arcane
That's
knowledge
it.
potential.
Yeah, the gift offer stuff. Conrad's like, I'm interested.
for your
shady as shit.
For your patrons,
at the same time, yeah,
For
I
your
was
patrons'
curious.
desires, roll me a religion or arcana check. Again, your choice.
Okay. Oh, it's a 5.
It's you're not sure. Like you have very little understanding of like
Alright,
this
so
this power you've been given.
Conrad doesn't look particularly interested either way then. Is the result of that.
So, sorry. Is you believe you in the Undying Court of the opinion that there is a curse in a temple affecting undeath, such as that brought about by vampirism and spells such as revivify and resurrection, I'm assuming.
Yes. And while it remains in place, those who have been brought back, or have stayed beyond their natural course, are being pulled towards a painful destruction. And the ability to bring those who might fall prematurely back and to perform the rites of our people has been compromised to the point where it cannot occur.
Ah. So that answers my question if there is evidence. Is it affecting purely your court or this land as a whole?
This plague upon death is present all over Eberron. It holds its roots within the Mournlands.
Oh. Oh. That is bad. That is quite bad. You... Okay. Does Sevia feel anything tugging at the back of her head?
Yeah, she feels.
Oh, no check?
Well, yeah. There's something that's been kind of there since like the prayer to Arcani.
Well, I prayed to Daemir.
To Daemir,
but,
sorry.
But I mentioned Arcani.
Yes. Since the prayer to the gods, there's been something at the back of your mind, and there's almost a level of pleading to it now as well. It's very subtle, but that it does feel like a pleading.
May you grant us 5 minutes to discuss as a group in private?
Of course. And they walk away.
Like away, or just to a distance and they wait?
Probably about the same distance that they held before, so...
Okay, they're not just like leaving.
No.
Okay, bye.
Okay, so as soon as they walk away, Sevia closes her eyes. She turns around to the group. She opens them and says, I don't know what it is, but something is telling me we need to help.
Is that just out of goodness?
Well, I would like to believe so. But at the moment, this is a group decision. Like, we wanted to go home. We came here because of Fae did what Fae do.
Yes, it tricked us. So yes. I described it
And-
perfectly, so I don't just quite see how that could take us here. Anyway, an odd proposition from this person.
Yes. To go into yet another temple, attempt to undo yet another curse, to free yet another group of people from a curse that is somehow tangentially related to vampires. We seem to wind up here yet again. And yet there is something in the back of my head telling me that if we do nothing, this is bad. It would be bad.
I mean, I have that voice in my head quite often, but, you don't have to listen to it all the time. Just hypothetically speaking, of course.
Well, no, and I understand that, but I don't know. These people can't perform their cultural rites. Many of us have gone down in battle and escaped death by the skin of our teeth. What if any of us had been revived? Would we now slowly be dying? Again? Painfully, he said. They said. Is it not we who have defeated a curse, a bane upon a plane? Maybe we can do it again, and we know what we're doing now. We are more powerful, more skilled. It's just another temple, this one of glass and stone. Surely we could do this with expedience and help these people and gain knowledge on our own end. Once again, that library in Barovia, books from every plane of existence. But here it is real. It is their lived experience. As much as I do not enjoy the thought of undeath, as much as that is not a path I do not like considering, it is knowledge.
It is interesting.
They
I
did.
am much curious of it and the rewards they offer.
The prospect of payment is very good.
But it is, at the end of the day, a group decision. So, if we as a group wish to do this, I think it would be good. But if we as a group do not, we can maybe at least assist in helping them find someone who can help before we leave. I would like to leave this place better than I found it, at least the way we did with Barovia. It would be a kindness to them. We owe them nothing, but that does not mean we cannot help.
Do you believe that by helping this fellow, we would be leaving this place in a better sense?
Well, To be honest, I have never particularly trusted those that search for the knowledge of undeath. It is certainly something we are warned against as wizards. It is a hubris for us. But I know nothing of this plane. I know nothing of their cultural rites. But if people are being harmed, worst comes to worst, maybe we have to just take down a government. How hard could that be? Maybe.
Beatrice, quick question.
Ah,
Conrad looks over it. He has also pointedly not spoken to Beatrice after she pointed out, "Oh, you came second, by the way, bitch boy." He's been quite sulky since the whole group reunited until he was like, "Okay, let's go talk to this person." That individual over there who spoke with us, how would you kill them?
how would they kill them?
Important to consider.
I could do it fast or I could do it slow.
Of course.
But probably just try and sever their head from their neck.
A good choice, yes. Good to consider if this individual is lying and takes us to a trap, if we accept out of the goodness of this land.
Well, I'm always up for an adventure when there's payment on the line. How about you, Prime? And Beatrice would have been standing next to Prime at this, and she just sort of punches him on the arm gently. Like, hey, there you go. He's hey, and she thumbs up.
While I do believe sometimes Prime may be difficult to understand, if he does have a vote, I believe it would be in helping these people, as he would have a vested interest, being undead. However, I believe it is important to note that we would be attempting to aid the very concept that created Strahd.
This is also true.
Yes. Look, I'm not saying I don't have reservations about this. I'm not saying I even think it is the correct decision, which is in fact different to the right decision. But there is something telling me we should do it. But again, if we don't want to, that is our prerogative. And she looks directly at Fall.
Fall's going to kind of like, I don't know, like they don't know what to make of this the whole time, and they're visibly like thinking. They'll be like, well, I certainly would love to be able to just rest after everything, but I think this seems to mean a lot to you, and I think it comes from a kind place. And I don't want you to be harmed if you decided to go it without me. So, yes, I'd be willing to support you in this. I guess we'll need to get a bit more information first, but...
Thank you. Sevia had a really weird look on her face when you said she was doing this for good reasons.
Oh, interesting.
And she's like, well, we can at least ask more questions. Maybe if there is some sort of verbal or written contract, maybe we can at least put in some kind of clause stating that the second we feel this mission is above our heads, we can get out of there with no infraction on their part, and maybe we can see what we can do. If this is a curse such as Strahd, I'm sure Strahd did not start as bad as he ended up. Things tend to deteriorate. over time, maybe if we help now, we will prevent it from getting worse. And maybe if we do a really good job now, no one here will even notice, and they'll just keep having their dinosaur races, and everything will be fine and normal for them. And we can give them normal lives. And then we can go home back to our normal lives, and everything will be fine. And we won't have to do this again.
In the concept of contracts, we should also identify this creature that we are talking to. And ensure they are not either a devil or a 𝗖𝗔𝗦𝗧.
Or a fae.
Was that an extra?
Well, considering the lying of the previous one, yes.
In that case, I may have made a mistake.
Oh?
I'm sure it will be of no consequence, though, and we should continue.
Of course. Well, I must admit I am curious about the talk of reward and the possible knowledge to be gleaned from there. I am not, for personal reasons, much excited about the prospect of visiting another temple, but I suppose as long as none of you touch anything that you consider to be bad, then it will all be good then. So and everyone can be happy. So that will be fun. I think we should not make the decision riding on any idea that this person may take us anywhere that we wish to go to. I think it should also be noted that we should be wary of exactly how to kill them and potentially anyone else they're hiding if they just take us to somewhere where they're going to either rob us or murder us. So something to ponder while we're having warm thoughts about doing good things. That's my 2 cents, as they say in Durham. Picked up some slang.
Very good. We can at least discuss with them. As you say, we can be on our guard, be wary, always be prepared to hit back. Go into this with our eyes open, hopefully. And if we do decide to do this as a group, I would like to preemptively thank you all for trusting my instincts. So, shall we engage in a contractual conversation?
If that is the decision of the group.
Oh, let's go have a talk.
So you reapproach Southriel.
Yep.
Have you reached decision?
We would like to hear more about what you have to offer. Also, quickly, without thinking, and it means nothing, what are you?
I am an undead 𝗖𝗔𝗦𝗧.
Is he telling the truth?
Roll me an insight check.
22. 3, 2.
Jesus.
Yeah. There is nothing indicating that they are lying.
Okay. What do you believe we should do? If we are to accept.
We can arrange for a guide to take you into the Moorlands. Our kind cannot step into that place as it stands currently.
Define your kind.
The undead.
That is unfortunate.
It is. The undead cannot enter the Mournlands without losing a part of themselves that anchors them to their humanity. You may come upon undead in your time, but they will be monstrous aberrations, not embracing the undeath of the arena.
Sevia looks pointedly at Prime when he says monstrous aberrations.
Exley doesn't have the ability to look visibly upset, but he's not happy.
Beatrice pats Prime on the arm.
Do you have any other questions?
What will you do if we back out? From what you have described, this is a dangerous mission, one your people cannot partake in, one that requires high skill level. You are asking a lot of people you have met off the street and presumed a lot of, as we have stated previously. What if we get in there and it turns out it is, in fact, above the level of what you are willing to pay or give us?
There is no level that we are unwilling to pay. But if it is beyond your capabilities, then we will not hold you to it. Though you must understand that the reward will be significantly less. Though we will welcome any information that you can give us from what you can complete.
And may I ask, quickly, once again, as my friend said, with no real meaning behind it, what did the Undying Court do for this land?
We keep to ourselves for the most part, preserving the balance of positive and negative energy within Arena.
No government influence, no teaching.
We hold no influence over Corvair.
So you are a private entity of a sort.
We
Just a
are
group.
the Undying Court of the Arena. Great power of Arena. But here in Corvair they hold no inherent power.
Why is
Right.
that the case if you can offer so much?
Because they have no desire of dominion over Corvair.
What a strange thing. With so much power.
And yet so much destruction. You have been told, I take it, of the war that led to the morning.
I heard that there was a battle 2 years ago. Is that the same?
There was a war that ended 2 years ago. And that war led to great destruction.
Wars tend to.
Yes, but not in the way that this one did. Sire was destroyed almost completely, leaving only the Mournlands in its wake.
A place twisted and warped by the destruction of the last war.
Must say, it sounds eerily like the place we just left. Interesting. So, speaking plainly, you wish for us to investigate this temple. If we can fix the problem, then reward is greater, yes?
Yes.
But if we investigate regardless, there will still be a reward.
Of course.
Perhaps there is little harm to be gained then, by at least looking.
Is that an acceptance?
What else can we expect?
From the Mournlands?
Mournlands, temple.
We are not entirely sure, other than it is an aberration to the natural order of things.
Hmm.
The Mournlands are drenched with strange magic, so much so that no humanoid can live there for extended periods of time. I would advise keeping your stay there as brief as you can.
I see.
Move with expedience towards the temple.
Interesting. If we were to accept, could you procure us mounts?
We can procure mounts and a guide if you so desire.
That would make things easier and much faster. Well, Conrad will turn that to the rest of the group. I suppose it doesn't really make much of a difference which I do. And as we have all spoken, everyone must be in agreement. Siva has a feeling. That is all.
I do.
An excellent insight check, Sevia.
You
Let's figure out
can.
Sevia is very in control for some reason. That is a 17.
I might
Oh.
see a side check. Sorry to jump on.
People keep getting 17s when they insight
Ooh.
check Sevia.
That's a 24.
Oh, God.
Okay. Is
Flawless Sevia vision.
there anything that you would say to those checks, Zoe? Because I have a little something that I might add.
Ooh, sprinkle in at the end as a surprise for me. Okay. The entire time, depending on how long you've been insight checking Sevia, I feel like 4 would probably get this one than Exley with the higher roll. Sevia seems very much... This sounds so ambiguous. Certain of something she is uncertain of. Like, she seems very much as if this feeling that she described as having is foreign to her, but there is something in her that trusts it implicitly. And this entire time we are having this conversation, none of you, I think, have seen this. Beatrice has. None of you have. It's this vibe Sevia sometimes gets as if she is put on someone else's face and she is pretending to be someone else for the sake of getting through a situation. Which is a very kind of hyperbolic fantasy way of saying she is masking in this moment. She is adapting and and she is adapting the behaviors of someone else in order to get through this situation. It's a very basic way of doing that. Not all people with ASD have it in that particular way. That is just a particular experience I am expressing via Sevia. So I felt that is important to say. But yeah, she is entrusting implicitly in a decision that she seems uncertain of. And in this particular moment, she is just attempting to remain in control to seem, well, at least if not in control of the group as a whole, in control of herself in this situation.
Okay.
Fall, you also pick up, there's a slight glint to Sevia, almost like a glint to her eyes that it's not always noticeable, but there are moments of it. But you recognize it as something that you saw quite a bit back in your youth at the temple. Particularly associate. Typically, this was something that was only kind of present and associated with some of the more powerful acolytes of the temple, those capable of drawing upon their faith to to will change into the world.
I see.
In through magic.
Thank you.
Yep. Yeah, you don't get that vibe
Hold
from
on to this
Sevia at
information.
all. Like, it's the you connect those dots. Sevia has not connected those dots,
Because
which you also probably get from a 24.
yeah, that's what I was saying. So Fall gets that. Exley doesn't quite, because he hasn't got experience with divine folk.
I'm also saying that Fall would probably recognize that Sevia is not aware of that.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, because
Okay, I'm holding on to that for later.
it's a change. It's a change that you have noticed, basically since leaving Barovia. There was maybe a little bit of it during your last moments in Barovia, but yeah, it's definitely something that is very recent, and from her general demeanor, you don't think that she even has noticed anything different.
Yeah, okay.
I'm now trying to remember where we were up to in conversation before all this.
Sorry.
No, all good. I think we were getting the group's final decision, were we not?
I
We
believe
were.
so.
Okay. Conrad has basically said he would, I believe.
Connor basically said like he doesn't have much of he doesn't have an opinion either way. He kind of again looks like very frustrated, especially after the temple stuff was mentioned that, and yeah, he stated that like, well, Sevia has a feeling, and that's it. He looks kind of resentful, but has not raised anything else.
Okay.
So he's basically implied he'll be fine with this. He's not pleased about it. He's also frustrated because he's not in charge here, and he knows that people won't listen to him if he does talk about it. So there we go.
Okay.
Beatrice has already stated she's for it.
Exley is still staring at Prime.
Well, yes, I'm not going to oppose it. I think it's a good idea.
Then, Seathriel, with the understanding that we can leave at any point we want, and that you and the Undying Court will provide us with anything we need or desire. And her hand kind of shakes a bit, and she holds it out. And she goes, "We have a deal."
And he takes the hand and shakes.
He's freezing, isn't he?
Yes. Yeah. Very cold to the touch.
Okay. I'm not going to do it. Okay. Yeah. She shakes his hand and she goes, when would you be able to acquire us those mounts and the guide?
I will be able to have things organized by morning.
Morning. Thank you.
Where will we be able to meet in the morning?
I will meet you here.
Where would you suggest we could stay?
There are a number of taverns here. To stay close, you could take one of the taverns nearby. I believe they are quite amenable to tourists and travelers.
Tis fine. I suppose it's decided then. We shall meet you here tomorrow.
I will see you then.
Before you go, you are certain that no undead can enter?
Undead can enter, but those who still have their humanity will have it shaken from them.
Are there many people around?
Yes, there are a few.
Damn it. It doesn't matter. 𝗖𝗔𝗦𝗧 is going to attempt to reach up to Prime and take his helmet off.
Okay.
And you
What?
maintain control over this creature.
I do.
This should be fine.
I do
Yeah.
hope so.
Though I warn you, do not know whether it will be impacted by the curse, like my brethren.
Then we shall deal with it quickly.
It would be appreciated.
And I pop the helmet back on.
Okay.
Until tomorrow.
And Sayathriel leaves.
Well, I suppose we should head to tavern.
Yes, that's
Yes.
what you do at a time like this. Good.
Have a drink, have a bath, and get some rest.
Yes, a drink and a bath, actually. That's a very good suggestion.
All right. What kind
Yes.
of quality tavern are you looking for?
Good.
One with a bath.
We have a lot of money.
Yeah.
Good
Okay.
quality.
Yeah, so you can
Like to buy a tavern.
I will literally just like, if someone's like, oh, let's go to this, I'm like, no. Absolutely not. You're getting a better one.
Okay. So, yeah,
If the menu has prices on it, we're not touching it. It's too bad. It's too poor, low quality.
So
The
you
literal thing he will say to basically just a nice tavern.
yeah. So there is a tavern called Velvets that you find, or an inn called Velvets, which specializes in fulfilling fantasies, and so they can cater your rooms to whatever you desire.
Oh,
And yes,
Interesting.
some of those fantasies are romantic, but others are, when it's described to you, some clients have romance in mind. Others come to Velvets to relive triumphs, to prepare for debates or trials, or for help in developing a new identity. So they could set you up with anything. And it's
Conrad turns around for like the little like the poster out the front, like this one. They go here. Decided.
Oh, certainly.
Good. You're
So-
straight in.
yeah. So the cost for Velvets is 10 gold a night.
How many rooms?
I mean, you can each have a separate room if you want, or
Room
you can
each,
share.
baby.
Anyone is willing, 𝗖𝗔𝗦𝗧 and Prime don't technically need a bed. Just be very quiet in a corner somewhere.
But they could have one of their fantasies fulfilled. A room's worth that. You could turn into a doggo and eat like 500 bones.
𝗖𝗔𝗦𝗧 and Prime will get their own room then.
Okay. So that is
Sevia
10
will
gold.
check with Fall before getting a separate room.
Oh yeah, they're gonna have bunk beds, surely.
But if Fall wants a fantasy fulfilled, then Sevia's not going to impose.
Well, it's gonna be very like. What does that mean?
Well, I'm not quite sure. I can only assume. Well, I mean, it says here that some of them are for, like, trials and things. So maybe just like food you like or bedding you like. But I assume certain things are about. And she starts blushing. And she's like, using those beds for particular things.
Oh yes, I didn't see the description there. That's what I thought as well. That's very much what it comes across as.
Yes, I can only assume that is partially why Conrad picked it, which I don't want to think about
Oh no.
at all.
Beatrice is right behind the two of them, cackling at the reactions.
Oh.
I just look, even if that's not why Conrad picked it, I just want to say if that's the reason you would like to have a separate room, then that is perfectly valid, and I will take a separate room and I will go away. But it's up to you entirely. I've made far too many decisions today. It is up to you.
Oh, wait, what does it even do? Like, is it like a spell that changes the room? I don't.
Well,
Because
I
there's
don't-
other options, not that thing.
Was that talk?
I mean,
Oh, well,
if
I
you
didn't quite-
inquire, they will say that they like that it is like there's a magic that they can arrange the rooms however you desire.
Oh, okay. the pleasure rooms in the Adventure Zone.
I will say this
no.
is something in the Eberron book. This isn't something of my invention. It's just I looked at the ward, I looked at this area of Sharn and was like, this is probably the one that would stand out to Conrad as the most luxurious.
Of course. Conrad is also like, yeah, he got it. He's just like, just looking around like, he looks very pleased. He's like, yes, fancy place, finally. It's so much better than Barovia. So what if like Fall and like Sevia are uncomfortable with pondering, he's just like standing with his hands on his hips looking very pleased, like just taking in the whole sight of how cool everything looks. But yes.
Fall's just like, I'm just trying to think of like a cool room. Like, I don't know, like a golden walls and like a bed that's the size of the room or something. I don't know. Yeah, we can do whatever. I don't know.
Well, see, frankly, one of us actually does need to make a decision. Because this is... Like... would we like to share a room or not? I did. Oh, I worry about what. It's fine. We'll get bunk beds. It's fine. If you want bunk beds, if we have magic bunk beds, or maybe we get 2 separate beds, that's fine.
Yeah, that's fine.
We'll just share a room.
I'm sure you could imagine yourself a library or something.
Oh.
So it's not. It's not.
One that,
Yeah. So it's not quite that you imagine it. It's that you ask for it.
You ask for it. Yeah.
And
But,
yet-
that's just what Beatrice is going to say to prompt Sevia's mind, and she's going to follow after
they
Conrad.
could, if you so desired, they could definitely stock the room with history books of Eberron, so that you could actually have a chance at history checks potentially here.
Yeah, Sevia would like to do that. She will go halvesies with Fall on a room. She'll request that they put books in it. In at least her side of the room, and then Fall's side of the room can be whatever they want it to be.
Yeah.
And
Just
then
make something really cool and fancy, and I don't know, put food. Yes.
yeah. And then she will proceed to be very quiet. Again, she has made a lot of decisions today, and she's not feeling great about it. So she will, but kind of wander vaguely in the direction of Conrad, as if to be like, are we eating as a group? Are we, or are you gonna go have a bath now? And in which case, Sevia would wait to go to her and Fall's room. Oh, actually, no, she wouldn't, but I will put a pin in that for later. So.
Excellent. Cool. I presume. Well. Excellent. I think this will serve quite well. Fantastic. This is marvelous, really. I haven't seen anything like this in Serrata. He kind of speaks confidentially to approaches Fall and Sevia and looks fantastic. This is what a proper tavern should look like.
It's rather spectacular.
I've never seen anything like it.
Yes. It should be exciting. Lots of different options here as well. Fantastic.
Options, yes. They certainly seem to be keen on catering to their clientele in every fashion.
Yes, it sounds like it. Quite interesting. Did you know, I mean, of course, there's lots of things that you can fulfill, but you can even, sort of do things like preparing ceremonies or, fulfilling things if you wanted to win an important court case or something. I mean, that's not something I'm interested in, but that's quite, how marvelous.
It is rather fascinating, yes. And they don't seem to ask a lot of questions. They just, without question, are going to put books in my room and all that. Maybe they assume we're a bunch of students. Students tend to be quite weird. I don't know where they think students got this kind of money, but...
Yes.
So, was there anything in particular of the evening that anyone wanted to get through, or...
I have a thing for Exley to work on. Exley is going to hopefully, if possible, sort out his room just to be just a bare room, 4 walls, a ceiling, no window or anything. If possible, he'd like a little workbench and some tools. Maybe a heavy-duty armor rack in the side of the wall. And if that is doable, he will also ask if there is someone skilled in crafting or metalwork that would be able to come up to the room for...
That can be provided for an extra fee.
Absolutely.
And you can work on that project overnight. So, anyone else, just briefly, or can it be assumed that folks go to sleep and wake up the next morning.
I mean, I have something I want to do, but it would not be brief.
In that case, we will leave it there.
Probably the easiest.
Yes.
There. Excellent.
Yes.
Yes.
Fantastic.
Okay.
Oh
Have a
boy.
good week, everyone.
We got a quest.
Have a
Yeah.
good week.
Bye, everyone.
Goodbye.
Bye.
All right.